What are you doing?
Mr. Higgins, what was so important that you and Brian Albert needed to discuss something at 2:22 in the morning?
Are you coming here, followed by 3 question marks? I always tell the truth.
I said, you've got to be kidding me.
Butt dial. Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dial. Butt dialed.
Butt dial.
Butt dial. So I'm driving, and John got on the phone with Jen, and he's telling me it's 34 Fairview.
Are you coming here with 3 followed by 3 question marks?
We are back tracking our favorite Higgy Bear, and we're going to show you how easy this case was to solve once you had all the data. Let's watch.
We arrive at 34 Fairview. It didn't look like there was any soiree going on. It didn't look inviting. The outside was dark, and I didn't see any familiar looking vehicles. And I said, John, can you make sure we're welcome? He said, I'll run in. So when John got out of the car at Brian Albert's house, he took my full vodka soda, which...
John left Karen's SUV just 2 minutes after old Higgy Bear texted him, are you coming here?
Are you coming here, followed by 3 question marks?
And he walked up the driveway, and I saw him reach the breezeway door, which is the side front door. And he opened the door and went to walk in. And I waited probably a minute, and he doesn't come. And it only took like 2 or 3 minutes for me to be irritated. I called him, and he didn't answer. I said, you've got to be kidding me. What are you doing? You just went in, and I'm sitting here. Either we're welcome or we're not, but it shouldn't take you 5 minutes to determine that.
Within the first 10 minutes after John O'Keefe exited the vehicle, he was attacked.
And then about 10 minutes went by, and I left. And I was not happy.
These are the only possible people that could have killed John O'Keefe because they were the only ones located at 34 Fairview when Karen dropped John off and when she left. Once you eliminate the kids and the McCabe's, that leaves just 3 suspects: Brian Albert, Brian Higgins, and Chloe.
You did not make or receive any calls after returning home that night?
No.
You testified that the first call you received after returning home on the 29th was a call from Chief Berkowitz just before 7 a.m., which woke you up.
It was around 6:30-ish, I think.
Your testimony previously was at some point.
Higgy Bear's giving us an indicator of deception, touching his face when he's under stress.
At some point before 7 a.m., that call was the one that woke you up.
Yes.
And it turns out, Mr. Higgins, that was a lie, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't a lie.
When you were asked that question at a previous hearing, you didn't know that the person questioning you had your phone records, did you?
I assume they did.
And you were thereafter confronted with those phone records, correct?
I was asked about them, yes.
And those phone records established that you and Brian Albert actually exchanged not 1, but 2 phone calls at 2:22 a.m. that morning, at a time when you claimed you were in bed asleep, correct?
I have no recollection of any phone calls.
Take a look at the one that's marked.
Remember that list of 10 suspects that we narrowed down to 3? 2 of them were speaking to each other on the phone at 2:22 a.m. that very morning.
Marked with the QQ. Brian Albert called you at 2:22 and 35 seconds, but it looks like you missed the call.
I see the 1 second call, yes.
There's a second call just below that on the same date at 2:22 and 52 seconds from you to Brian Albert.
Yes.
And the duration of that call is 22 seconds.
I see that, yes.
So 17 seconds after you missed a call from Brian Albert, you called him back, and there was a call lasting 22 seconds. Is that right?
That's what the records say.
So the fact is, you were speaking to Brian Albert in the middle of the night, approximately 3 hours before Mr. O'Keefe's body was found in his yard.
When the calls were made between Brian Albert and Brian Higgins, John O'Keefe's body had to be within this circle. And of the 10 possible suspects, the only 2 that happen to be speaking with each other are Brian Albert and Brian Higgins.
No, that's not correct.
And then, of course, you lied about that under oath in that prior proceeding by saying, I don't remember this phone call. Did you, in fact, tell the truth at the prior proceeding when you said, I don't remember that phone call?
I always tell the truth.
Did you lie under oath, sir?
No, I did not.
Would you tell us if you did?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
You acknowledge that there's a 22-second phone call in your phone records, correct?
That's what's reflected by the record.
And 22 seconds is quite an amount of time. Would you agree?
It's 22 seconds.
If we were to count off 22 seconds, that's an uncomfortably long time, is it not?
No,
It's long enough to have a conversation, isn't it?
I didn't have a conversation.
Is 22 seconds long enough to have a conversation?
No,
You can't, a human being can't have a conversation in 22 seconds?
Sure they could. I don't think it's anything of substance.
Okay, so that's my question. 22 seconds long enough to have a conversation.
I don't agree with it, no.
You had an explanation for what that 22-second call may have been and what the prior call may have been, correct?
Well, I used a phrase that people commonly used as a butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Butt dialed. Butt dialed.
Butt dial.
Butt dial.
Sir, did you make any phone calls after you went to bed between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
This is Brian Albert, the homeowner where John O'Keefe's body was found. He is one of the 10 potential suspects that had to be the murderer of John O'Keefe.
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
Inadvertently called back.
What time?
I don't recall the exact time. After 2.
2:22 and 35 seconds.
Well, it's kind of like a butt dial.
Kind of like a butt dial. That you were, quote, hanging out with your wife, and you must have butt dialed Mr. Higgins. And in that hearing, you said, quote, I'm not totally sure. You then changed your testimony and said, and I don't mean to be indelicate, but your testimony was then that you were in an intimate situation with Nicole.
Nicole Albert, A-L-B-E-R-T.
At the time. And that's how you butt dialed.
I don't believe I said that's how I butt dialed Brian Higgins.
What you said was you were in an intimate situation with Nicole at the time that the butt dial occurred, correct?
I'm not sure if you have something you can read me or show me.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time, I think it reads.
Despite the fact that this big dope claimed that he bang dialed Brian Higgins, we know now that the body was laying within that circle on his property.
Your call records from January 29th at 2:22 and 35 seconds in the morning. Whose number ends in 5421?
According to this, it's Brian Higgins.
The call at 2:22 and 35 seconds appears to be 1 second in length, and that's from you to him, correct?
It says 1 second.
That would be the call, the initial call from you to him, the one that you claim is a butt dial. Is that right?
Yes.
Did that call roll to voicemail and then you immediately hung up?
No, I don't recall if it. I don't know.
So according to you, it was a butt dial that went to his phone that somehow lasted 1 second.
Right.
There's a second call at 2:22 and 52 seconds, 17 seconds later, correct?
Yes.
That call is actually from Brian Higgins to you, isn't it?
Yes.
Look at this disgusting pig trying to fake as if he can't read the documents. When a witness does that, it's a clear indicator they're being deceptive. And here you have this guy trying to tell us that although he's one of the 10 potential suspects that could have killed John O'Keefe, he has no idea how he called Brian Higgins just hours before John's body was found.
And that call doesn't last 1 second. That call lasts 22 seconds, correct?
Yes.
Obviously, you know how long 22 seconds is.
What's that?
You know how long 22 seconds lasts.
Unfortunately, I do know that length of time, and that's the main reason my ex-wife filed for a divorce.
Yes.
So you think it's possible that you may have butt dialed Brian Albert for a 22-second call that you're not aware of?
I think it's possible that he could have been inadvertently called back, but I have no recollection of that, nor did I have any conversation with anybody.
But you admitted that you lived alone, correct, Mr. Higgins?
That's correct.
Did you open your phone with your Face ID or a multi-digit code?
I have no recollection of answering the phone or calling anybody back.
Women are human lie detectors, and she senses something here. Higgy Bear, as we observed him in his natural habitat, is very cute when he's lying. He has a script and he's sticking to
3 or 4 interactions with the phone that have to be physically undertaken to just make one call.
But I didn't make any calls.
So how'd you butt dial?
I didn't make any calls. I have no recollection of any calls, nor did I speak with anybody.
After you were shown these phone records at that prior hearing, in that hearing at least, you finally admitted that you did in fact call Brian Albert back, but this time you claimed the two of you just sort of sat in silence.
The hearing Alan keeps referring to is related to the FBI's investigation of this situation.
Did you ever previously testify that you did in fact make the call, but you did not have a conversation during the course of the call?
What I think I testified was something must have happened, but I didn't have any phone call.
Just like us carrying the text when old Higgy Bear is lying.
I kissed Brian Higgins the other night. He's such a cuddly bear.
Do you remember?
And now that we know that Chloe has an alibi because she was on the phone at the same time, there's no possible way anybody but Brian Higgins or Brian Albert killed John O'Keefe.
I remember being asked, quote, did you call him back? And you answered, yes. And then there was a question.
There was a series of questions there. That's only a fragment of what I said.
I'm not done yet, Mr. Higgins. Can you answer my question?
Yes.
To the question, did you call him back? Your answer was yes, correct?
I think it was kind of I must have.
You see the pink highlighted question and the pink highlighted answer.
Did you call him back?
What's the answer?
Yes.
You then said a little bit further in that same conversation, I did not have a conversation, correct?
I did not have a conversation with anybody.
And the question following that was, you just listened to the phone, what someone was telling you? Answer, it's possible that the phone picked up on the other end and nobody said anything. And then I terminated the call.
Did these two dopes really think they were going to get away with this?
End quote. That's what you said at the other hearing under oath, correct? Yes or no?
Can I see it?
And your answer was, it's possible that the phone picked up on the other end and nobody said anything. And then I terminated the call. That's the only thing.
Meaning it's possible it could have happened.
It's possible it could have happened that you had a 22-second call with Brian Albert,
I
correct?
did not have a 22-second call with Brian Albert. There was no conversation.
That a boy, Higgy. Avoid answering the question and just read what your attorney prepared for you.
You've had some time to think about this 2:22 a.m. call, correct?
Some time to think about it? I haven't really thought about it, no.
So for over a year, you haven't even considered the fact that you were caught with a phone record lying about not having a conversation with Brian Albert at 2:22 in the morning. Mr. Higgins, what was so important that you and Brian Albert needed to discuss something at 2:22 in the morning?
By now, we all know that answer. John O'Keefe's body was hidden somewhere on the property at 34 Fairview, and these two dopes had to figure out how to dispose of it.
There was no discussion. I never talked to Brian Albert. I have no recollection of any phone calls. I have no recollection of that, nor did I have any conversation with anybody. I have no recollection of answering the phone or calling anybody back, but I didn't make any calls. I have no recollection of any calls, nor did I speak with anybody. Something must have happened, but I didn't have any phone call. I did not have a conversation with anybody. There was no discussion. I never talked to Brian Albert.
It is cute that Higgy Bear thought that he would be able to fool us with his scripted answer. However, we know at that very moment when they were making those calls together, John O'Keefe's body had to be within this circle displayed right here. And the evidence shows that by 6:03 in the morning, they were able to move John O'Keefe's body where Karen found it, near the flagpole. As we established in the beginning, there are only 10 potential people that could have possibly killed John O'Keefe. After we eliminated the McCabe's and the kids, we were left with just Brian Albert, Higgy Bear, and Chloe. Since Chloe's a good dog with an alibi, she didn't do it. That leaves just Brian Higgins and Brian Albert. But of the two Brians, only one had the means, motive, and opportunity to kill John O'Keefe, and that's our old cuddly but violent Higgy Bear. This case was very simple to solve once you had all the data because there was a very limited amount of people that could have potentially killed John O'Keefe. This video, along with every single other video that we produce, is being sent to the Massachusetts State Police and the FBI, and we are not going to stop producing them until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.
I kissed Brian Higgins the other night.
I love you, gay Jeff.
I didn't do it.
I had nothing to do with John's death.